The Isle of Jura, or to the Norse, the Island of Deer. It is a wild and striking landscape, majestic but so hard to get to. It is the gem of the Hebrides. One road, one hotel, one shop, one pub, and one whiskey distillery. Whiskey distilling has been on the island for several hundred years, but it was Archibald Campbell that built the first licensed distillery in 1810. That distillery lasted until 1901, and it wasn't until Robin Fletcher and Tony Riley Smith, with the help of the famous designer William Delm Evans, built the distillery that opened in 1963. The distillery boasts some of the largest stills and washbacks in Scotland. The 5-ton semi-lauter mash tun feeds the wash into 6 enormous 43,000-liter washbacks. That beer is then fed into 2 wash stills that are 28 feet tall and hold 24,500 liters. The low wines are then sent off to the 2 spirit stills that hold 15,500 liters. Most of the spirit produced is non-peated, unlike its island neighbor Islay, though it does produce a couple of peated whiskies once a year. Most of the whiskey is aged in ex-bourbon barrels and finished in sherry and red wine casks. Even though Jura is one of the more difficult islands to get to, it has an increasing number of visitors that are finding their way to experience this remote and beautiful place and its whiskey. Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey, and we've had an eventful afternoon here. We ended up, I purchased a gift for a friend there. It was actually a bottle of Jura Journey. He did me some favors and all that, so I was paying him back a favor. And anyways, in the process, we won't say who did it, but we busted the bottle. And I was able to salvage a little bit, before we start getting into the glass and the whiskey. And glass and whiskey is not a good combination. About that much there, which we could probably do the review with. So, but we're just he's just gone out to grab another bottle. I'm trying to get him involved in the review, but he says he's a little shy in front of the camera. So, anyways, this gives me a chance to thank you all for those that are subscribing to the channel, as well as those that give me a like. I really appreciate that. If you are happy with the review, or certainly find that I've made some mistakes in the past, and by the way, I am trying to improve the channel and my communication. I was very busy when I started doing this. When I have family life, and then you've got work, and then there was my extracurricular activities, and also, I'm kind of adventurous and I'm outside quite a bit, but I just found it was quite, I was challenging myself trying to communicate and getting back, replying to people that had made comments, and I apologize to those that I haven't. So I will be making a lot better effort at that. Something else I'm going to mention is that if I'm not happy with review, or if there is, let's say, some errors in the review, which, I have come to notice that there were a couple of errors that were made, and was brought to my notice by, you that are watching these reviews, and I appreciate that, by the way. And I am correcting them. I put them into the notes. They'll be in the notes under the video. And I also will try again to make a little bit better effort of replying to your comments and that. So thanks again. I really appreciate that. And I've had some good comments. I really think that encourages me to keep making these videos. But enough babble. We're just waiting now for the bottle. And if it doesn't show up, we'll have to wait another day to do this. Hi, and welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. I'm going to try to do a fast one today. This is going to be the Jura, Isle of Jura. 200 people live on that island. One road, one pub, one distillery. So anyways, I'm going to probably do a little more history in that when I get into the 18 here. There's the journey. I've poured a glass, I've let it sit for a while, and I'm going to get right into it. This is American White Oak ex-bourbon casks. It's a non-age statement. I've heard all sorts of stories of how many years, but I'm not even going to get into it, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. It's a non-age statement. Let's leave it at that. So it is their entry level. Reviews are kind of all over the place on this one here, so we'll just get into it. And they did have some good reviews, by the way. So let's look a little bit kind of light. It's not a real dark color. I believe it's naturally colored. I heard that this was actually non-chill filtered. I mean, that I read it someplace, non-chill filtered. So I did write the source down, but anyways, so I was kind of shocked. A 40% ABV, non-chill filtered. It'll be a first, but we add a little bit of water. We're going to find out. So, anyways, the nose, Jura Journey, slight smoke. Very slight. And I'm getting a little bit of lemony stuff going on here. Lemony. Zest. Wee bits of vanilla. And some floral. I'm getting a little bit of floral. But nothing overwhelming. It's a lighter nose, I will say that about it. It's not a smack in your nostril, nose. So, and at 40 ABV, no alcohol. So, slight bit of vanilla. Okay, the palate. Honey, a little bit of sweetness here, and definitely the citrus. The pretty predictable, this one here. You could have a singleton with a little bit of smoke. The 12-year-old. I mean, not there's. When I'm going to say not a lot going on, there is. Your citrus, your lemon, your vanilla, a bit of malty stuff going on here. Wood, that's the bourbon casks, and lingering in the background, slight bit of licorice. Tasting a bit of the smoke. Smoke is coming through. Nothing, nothing heavy duty. It's a light smoke. But overall, I'm going to go for the finish. That didn't take long, did it? Solange. Well, I'm getting the wood. I don't know if this is fresh wood, or we'll say fresh casks. It's refills. It says white American oak, and that's all I got, and bourbon. Probably, I don't know how much first fill, but I'm going to say some second fill casks, at least second fill. Maybe even some third fill. But the wood's there. Very slight bit of bitterness in that wood too, by the way, with some of the peppery notes going on here, spicy notes. Wee bit of, like the alcohol's not strong, so we get a slight bit of that acetone stuff going on, very slight in the background, not enough to bother you. It's a relatively smooth drink, That's why I threw in Singleton, and I certainly would agree with some of the reviewers, though there's some things that I'm not picking up that reviewers picked up on it. So, but certainly understand it's entry level for smoke in that, not huge, but there is some there. Might be good introductory for somebody starting off with looking for peat. The general notes are what I would expect from ex-bourbon, but certainly not a first fill, more of a second fill. Like I say, you are getting the citrus, you are getting some sweetness, but you are getting a little bit of the bitter. So, and not that it's off-putting, but not overly complex is where I'm going with this. Nothing really nasty about it. It's just not overly complex. So I'm going to add a little bit of water. I want to see if this if it gets misty. Non-chill filter of 40. Well, that's pretty good, So there's our water. I'm getting a bit of mist. I'm getting a little bit of Scottish mist there. So about 4 drops. I don't know. We're not looking for legs here. Okay, we saw a little bit of mist in it. Maybe they're right. But having said that, well, we got water. Let's give it the nose with water. 40%, not expecting a lot, so almost lost our smoke here. But we are getting what you would expect, the citrus, certainly the vanilla, and yeah, there's some malty notes. Okay, with water, the palate, 40 ABV, Jura Journey. Well, I'm getting a little of the bitterness of the wood, but I'm also getting that licorice still. And there's still a bit of sweetness there, the honey and the lemon. Overall, interesting drink, the Journey. I mean, it isn't super expensive, but for the price, I'll throw that in when I give it the score. This is in the 80s, 81-ish maybe. Throwing the price, 80, 81, somewhere around there is the reason I'm giving it that score. It's not, like, there's nothing off-putting about it. By golly, pay a few more dollars and get a Lacheg. That's all I'm going to say. That is one hell of a whiskey, and it's only going to be a few bucks more. So I'll post the price. Loch Lomond. Not a super expensive drink. Now, if you're looking at, you're trying to get into entry level and you want something a little less complex than a Loch Lomond, I still go with the Lacheg. I think Lacheg would be a good choice, but a Kalila would be a good choice, but you're going to pay a little more for a Kalila. You could, if it's not peat, there's a heck of a deal. Glen Grant 15. It's not a super expensive. Let's go over to that Mortlach. That Mortlach 12. I love that stuff, and I paid almost the same. Maybe it was a hair bit more than what I paid for the Journey. So, not knocking the Journey. I'm just saying there's some other things out there. There is some other choices. So, I'm going to leave it at that. If you can't get these other bottles, I get it. Maybe that's as good as it's going to get. And again, remember, this is my opinion, my tongue, my nose. So some of you might, get a little bit more out of it. And I'm certain there are some that are going to really like this drink. So anyways, let's leave it at that. So I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently. Do not drink and drive. Until the next time, so long.